In this video, we'll go over the replacing of an oil pan for a 1998 to 2006 Volkswagen Beetle. Seems like a big job, but you can save money by doing this at home, so let's get started. Now, I do have a lift which makes this job really easy for me, but this is totally doable with a set of ramps or a jack and some jack stands. Now, this is leaking oil like crazy, and upon inspection, you can see that this plug is stripped. Not sure if it's leaking from anywhere else, but we'll find that out now. Step 1 is to pull down this splash guard. It's held up by a bunch of Torx 30 screws. Pull that down. Just use caution. If your car is leaking like this, you might have some oil up there that ends up splashing on you if you pull this down and you're underneath it. Now, there is some oil higher than the mating surface of this oil pan, but I'm hoping that's a dipstick tube that was just replaced recently. We'll see after this repair is done. We'll monitor it. For now, it just looks like this plug is what's shot. Step 1 is draining the oil. It's a 17mm bolt, and you want to back that out. This one's going to give me some difficulty because it is stripped. Let that oil drain fully. Remove the three 16mm bolts that affix the oil pan to the bell housing. You might need a wobble socket to be able to get the clearance to get in there. Next, we remove the 10mm bolts that hold the oil pan in place. They are hex head bolts as well, but 10mm will ensure that you don't strip these things out. Remove all the bolts and set them to the side. With all the bolts removed, it's time to peel this pan away. There are little notches specifically there for you to put a pry tool in there to help make a purchase point and peel this open. But once you crack it a little bit, you should be able to pull this down by hand. Make sure you have a large enough catch can underneath to get any oil that's going to start dripping out. Next, move on to arguably the most important part of this job, which is cleaning this mating surface. Now, if this is stock, you will have RTV here. What works for me is some synthetic steel wool, some Scotch-Brite, and some brake clean. And work your way around this entire mating surface, making sure that that is spotless. You want no residue left behind. Come up top, carefully remove the oil filter cap, and let's pull out this oil filter. It's going to help us get whatever remaining oil is left that's in there, and we can inspect this filter as well. Whenever you pull a filter, it's always a good idea to inspect it. Look for little pieces of metal, might look like glitter, even some pieces of rubber too. You can look for any kind of big contaminants. Other than looking filthy, this looks okay, so we're going to keep moving. I'm going to take a paper towel and just sop up whatever is left in there, get as much of that old dirty oil out of there. We're going to now finish this up as we're doing an oil change. New O-rings, as always. Use a pick to pull your old O-rings out. Gently lube up the new ones and put those back in place. After that, press the oil filter in and screw this cap down. You don't want to over-tighten this cap, and if you look closely, you'll see the bottom of the cap will sit flush on the top of the oil filter housing. So once you get to that point, there's no need to go any further. Finish off up top here by putting the engine cover back in. At the back of the engine cover, there's a little slot and it fits into a groove. That gets the backside in place. You're going to push the dipstick tube through the rubber grommet in the front of it, and then it's held down by two 10mm bolts. Next, it's time to prepare the pan for installation. And I just want to throw out this word of caution here. Fully inspect what you get. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's good. This pan right here came already damaged. You can see the cracks in it. And I'll throw the name out there because I'm quite dissatisfied. This is the third item from carparts.com that either came the wrong item or came defective, and they refused to make good on either one. So take that for what it is. I'll put links below to this one here below, the new one. It is by Euro Parts. It's a good brand. It works well, and I got it from Amazon. Fully clean the mating surface with some brake clean and some paper towels. Make sure it's spotless, and you're going to start to put your RTV down. I'm using the Ultra Black, which is sufficient for this. Just a note, you can get a paper or fiber gasket for this. However, I would advise against it. It is not what's called for OEM, and it'll actually increase the depth, or I should say the thickness of that pan with regard to the bolts that go in horizontally through the bell housing. So there's no need to do that. The RTV will work just fine. Now, this bead looks horrendous, but it will work. All the way around, go around the bolt holes, and move fast once you have this done. You get all the way around, it should look like this 5th grade art project right here, and that'll be fine. One last check of the mating surfaces on the car side. Make sure that's spotless. Go back through it with a paper towel and some brake clean, and then push this pan up into place. You want to go up as vertically as you can. You want to get it in one shot, and then you want to hold it in place and start to hand tighten the bolts. Now, I know there's people out there that will just put this pan on, tighten up, and keep it moving. For me, I'm going to follow the directions of the Permatech product. I think the easiest way to make something fail is to do it the way it's not supposed to be done. So once you get this pan pushed up into place, hand tighten the bolts. And you want to just hand tighten them until you see a little bit of that sealant start to just lightly bubble or ooze out. No more than that. Get all the bolts hand tightened in. Now, there are 4 bolts that present a challenge sometimes because of how far they're recessed. But if you get yourself one of these wobble extensions, allows the socket to move around a bit, you should be able to get that in there. Thread it first by hand, and what I like to do is once I find that bolt into the bolt hole, I go counterclockwise so I can feel those threads kind of go bash against each other. I know I'm not going to cross thread, and then start to tighten this down. As I mentioned, I'm going to follow the Permatex directions, and that's these bolts all get hand tightened just until you see that material start to ooze out a little bit. You wait 1 hour, then you come back and you torque them down. After that, we're going to wait another 24 hours before actually filling the car back up with oil. Now it's been about an hour, so I'm going to come back now, set my torque wrench to 15 newton meters, and we're going to work our way around this pan in a crisscross fashion. After that, replace the 3 bolts that hold the pan to the transmission and set your torque wrench at 45 newton meters. You can see here the pan came with a drain plug that's already been torqued down. You can see the paint mark, but I'm going to double check it anyway, and that torque setting is 30 newton meters or 22 foot-pounds. Now it has been 24 hours, so I'm just going to inspect this. Look at that bead all the way around. It's uniform. Looks like it's got good coverage. I'm going to clean off any residual oil so when I come back to inspect, I can tell if it's new or old. We'll come back up top and we'll fill the oil. Put a link to this kit below. It's crucial for doing oil changes. You get no mess. It has adapters for every vehicle type and a funnel that you can really watch and measure out properly. Now this particular engine is a turbo diesel, so I'll be using the Shell Rotella T6 brand 5W40 goes in, and you're going to add just under 5 quarts, 4.8 to be exact. Put that in there, run the car, check it, top off if you need. Then do one quick inspection of the pan. Everything looks nice and dry down here, so we can replace that splash guard and be done with this job. I like making these videos to show how easy it is to do some of these things on your own, and of course to save a ton of money while doing it. I'll put links below to the items and tools I've used, and if you use my links, I will earn a whole 17 cents.